Okay. Oh, baby. Oh, mine. Oh, baby. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? We're here at another Friday. I'm so excited about this episode. Y'all have no idea. Before we get to that, how y'all doing? Y'all feeling good? Y'all breathing good? Everything feeling, like you can do anything in life? Because that's what it should feel like. You should feel like anything that you desire within your life, you can go after it and retrieve it. It's yours. It's always been yours. So what you been feeling like? Are you good? All right. And if you ain't been good, let's go ahead and take a moment right now. Let's just tap in. Let's just take a second to breathe. Remember why you're here. And if you feel like you ain't here for a reason, you're here for a reason. You woke up for a reason. Stop playing. Don't play like that. Don't do that to yourself. Let's breathe. However you want to breathe right now, just allow yourself to be in the moment. With me, I'm here with you. Let's just... feel good. Yes. Oh my gosh. Here we are at another episode of Present Not Perfect. I'm your host, Mimi Jeanite, and we have here today a special guest. We have Legacy of Dawkins with Truth and Legacy here today, and I'm gonna let him, come through. We're gonna speak on some ones and twos and just talk about it. Like, we're gonna have a conversation. You guys, this is our 30th episode. And this is my first guest. If y'all can feel it, yes, put it in a comment. We are excited. All right. So, without further ado, Legacy of Dawkins.
Yo, what's up? Yo, crazy. That was oof.
Yes. Yeah. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I took that deep breath in and
yes.
Feeling free.
Tuned in,
That's
tapped
right.
in
That's
the
right.
here and now.
That's right.
Today's episode is about going after your dreams and feeling like things are against you and how you overcome that. And I know we have a lot of experience with that because we're just in the industry of creativity, and there's always like a back and forth, pushback type of thing going on. And I think we can, give our insight. Even if it helps, it doesn't help, we're still giving our opinions. Take it or leave it. We're just here to help. We're just here to give our 2 cents,
A little 2 cents. Nothing too big.
So, let's get into it. So, for me, as I've come into some experiences within my life, I've realized that usually when I hold my goal in mind, that a lot of people won't understand why I have the goal, especially if they would do it a different way. But I feel like having the goal in mind and continuing to keep the goal in mind, it doesn't matter how I get to the goal, as long as I make it to the goal. That's something that gives me a lot of okay, I'm gonna hold this power.
So it doesn't matter how fast you go, it doesn't matter how slow you go.
Exactly.
You feel like
as long as I'm going toward it, let's do something with that, let me make sure that I keep that. This is what I want. This is what I've always wanted for myself. Like, if I had to do other things to build a skill, and sometimes life works like that. Like, you literally just come up on, you're doing taxes to build on numbers, because you're going to need numbers for when you're needing to be your own accountant, when you have your own industry, in your own business. It's so weird how the world brings it.
Yep.
Into fruition for it's amazing. So however slow, however quick, and I don't like it quick. I like it to be, let me figure it out, so then when I'm in it, I can actually say, yeah, I'm in it for real. I'm here and I'm with purpose in it.
Yeah. It's like the tortoise and the hare. You know what I'm saying? So you're going with the tortoise, you're taking your time, you're slow with it, but you're still patient and you still make it at the end. But the hare, he's like, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens, I don't care how it happens. He's moving, you know what I'm saying? So I like that. I like that point of view.
Go ahead. Clear 2 cents.
So for me, I would say I like that I'm learning to stay in the tortoise lane I would say that I used to be more of like a hare. I would want to go fast with everything. But now growing up, life always teaches you a lesson. If you don't learn that lesson, it's going to teach you again in some way, some shape, some form. So now I'm just like taking my time with it. I'm enjoying it. I'm seeing the fruition of it growing slowly and steadily. But most of the time, I'm still wanting that bitch to hurry up because niggas don't have all day. You know what I'm saying? And but again, like I said, it's a learning process, and I'm grateful for people like you that already are learning that or already sitting in that, so I could be like, okay, wow, like I have an example of why that does work. You know what I'm saying? And not just going with the world. Saying, all right, let's get to the money.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, yeah, I do have moments where I am like feeling like I do need to, but then I.
But it's needed. It's needed.
Exactly,
It's
both. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are moments where it's like, yo, I remember the times when I used to be very much fast paced, but then I would barely have time to think about exactly why I'm making the move that I was making. It's just because I think this is the best move, but it's like, did you really weigh your options for real? So as I slowed down, then it's allowed me to really strategize, really like, okay, like how do I want to make that move for real?
And entrepreneurs nowadays, their thing is what I've been listening to podcasts. They talk about like trying to make decisions fast, but only making decisions fast because they already thought about the plan. They already like structured what might happen, but it's through time and over experience that they was like, you know, I can answer you quickly.
I like
only answer you quickly because I already thought about everything.
That part.
And already the strategy of how I'm going to get to my goal.
That's why I said I like that slow pace to let me know exactly, to build that skill, you know, like let me know exactly what I'm getting into, so then I can get to that point where I can't think of it fast. Like now, I think I am getting into the point where it's like, if you ask me a question, I know what it is that I need to answer you as far as what it comes to like my business. Like
you're now knowing who you are.
Yeah.
You're getting to know who is Mimi.
Yeah.
And what does Mimi like, and how does Mimi want to run her business. So
type shit.
I agree with that too. And like I said, the more you're around people, because I believe community and I believe environment still shapes who you become. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be this way, but like if you're around solid people or if you're around slack, lazy people, you're gonna be one of those things. So I mean,
who's in your circle? Who the 5 people in your circle?
Who's in your circle?
They gonna tell you who you are.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah,
so
that's really deep.
Be picky. Be selective. You know what I'm saying? Choose who do you want around you, because, and it's funny because our parents talked about this from young, like.
Yeah, and they would peep it too. They're not your friend.
You know what I'm saying? Like they knew from a jump that they're not your friend, and it's just like we couldn't see that.
Yeah, because we just appreciated the person for like what they were in the moment. Like
that's when we were in the moment most of the time.
Really though.
Dang, when we were younger, we were really in the moment.
Seriously.
Yeah, because how you put it like that, I didn't peep game until you had to start thinking and how to get out the moment and start saying, let me. What that person did to me back then. Oh, and then add it up to the
like
now.
Like wait, hold on, I missed a lot.
You know what I'm saying?
Like let me backtrack real quick. Who are you? Do I know you?
It's crazy. And it's crazy when you get to that point.
Yeah.
Relationships and friendships, you know what I'm saying?
That makes you feel like though, when you start to make decisions that you don't know what the best decision would be because you made a bad decision before. So that's why it's like a battle between yourself and yourself, because then it's like, okay, if I do need to go toward this goal, am I equipped to make the right decision? And I feel like that's where we can kind of beat ourselves up, where it's like, okay, shit, like I've made a mistake in the past. How do I overcome that?
You know, I feel like people need to still remember that if we believe, one, in a mighty God, if we believe, two, that this is supposed to be, everything is for our good, even the negative is going to look like it's good. You know what I'm saying?
It has to. Yes, it is.
You've seen it as bad right now, but honestly, that is actually a good thing to help you.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
You know, we're in agreement.
There's redirection. Rejection is redirection, basically.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? In my life, what I'm doing.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of other people, they see the bad thing and they automatically claim it as a negative. There's nothing positive coming from it.
And you talked about that.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because I feel like I want people to grow into that. Maybe there's something good here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, be open to that opportunity of it being something that could work out for you some other way. Just because you had a vision of it like working this way doesn't mean that it's not still working just because it happened a different way. So
what they say about a tree, they say like you can't see when you plant a seed in the ground, you can't see it growing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you dig it up and you see it growing, it's like, dang. But that's how it is to manifest. That's how it is to ask God for a blessing or ask God for something, and it's growing. You just have to see those little details that it shows, because it does show. You know, sometimes we lose things that we love so much, and we're like, dang, why did that have to go? Like, but you asked for this. So which one do you want? You want this one or you want this one?
Right.
Make your mind up. I mean, we can always go back. We can always go back.
Right. We can always give you the rubbish.
You can always go back to that, because at the ultimate day, universe or God wants you to be in that comfort, like wants you to be okay with where you at, and for my interpretation of life. So it's just like, watch what you ask for. Watch what you wish for. These are all.
Well,
when I say watch what you wish for, I'm saying as in the sense like, if you don't want whoever to leave you, but they're
don't be like, take away the enemies.
And then
stop. And then no, take away the enemies.
And then the enemies.
Like, you don't need the enemy because you. Come on.
You know.
Would you rather though? Like, no. That's what I'm saying. Still, even if. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't even say be careful what you wish for. It's just be prepared for what you wish for. Because it's something you still desire to get away from you or desire to reap. So it's like, okay, are you prepared? Are you mentally prepared? Are you emotionally prepared? Are you spiritually prepared for what it is that you're asking for? Because then when it comes in or when it go, boy.
Yeah. And we're like, oh, but wait, God,
right,
no, please. Yeah, let's
bro. And I feel like a lot of people have that particular experience where it's like, you thought somebody was your kin, like you thought that same cloth shit.
Yeah.
And then they just end up being a super flip-flop.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, how did I not see you like that before? Like, what did I miss? Like, what? It was some girl, her birthday. I saw it on TikTok. And she had a friend. She told a friend, you guys need to, dress to the gods. To the nines, you gotta be up.
Dress to impress, right?
Type shit.
Nice.
So friend did exactly that. Girl, that was her birthday, she got upset because friend was dressed to...
Right.
But you said... So it's like, why are you upset for somebody looking good for you? And it's not like they're trying to show you up or anything like that. It's literally, I'm here for you. I'm here to celebrate you. I'm going to put my shit on too. Like, why are you not putting your shit on? So happy birthday girl ended up being jealous of the friend. And it just like, why are you?
Don't ask me to dress up if you don't want me to dress up.
Like, you should have just said put a trash bag on.
You should know your friend as well too.
You should have known she was going to put that shit on.
Right. Because she'd done it before, probably.
Most likely. And that's... So, you knew she was going to do that.
I feel like those things always have an underlying... Something else is bothering her. Like, it's like, what?
That might be true, too.
like, why would you be tight about dressing up?
That might be true, too. And that could be, like, a foundational catalyst for a lot of people's friendships breaking up. Because there's, like, a little jealousy or some type of envy within the relationship. That isn't seen yet, So then when you do ask for that clarity, you do ask for the enemies to be, let go from your life. They are one because of that subconscious element. And it sucks. But then you have to really just be like, you know what? If this is the way it's going to be, I appreciate you for the memories we have. And I'm going to keep it pushing. I'm not going to even say anything against you. I don't have anything against you. We shared a beautiful thing. Now we have to let each other go. And that's that,
I have a question for you. Have you ever, you're saying it now, but have you had a time where it was like, it was hard to let that person go and be like, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah. You
were there for me from thick and thin. First, it seemed like thick and thin. But like...
No, they were.
Oh, they were there, thick and thin. And it's just like...
Although it was like, because two things can be right at the same... Or... reality at the same time. So, although she was there through thick and thin and like really helping me through a lot, like she really like helped, like she was my friend.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there was a lot that I wasn't peeping. And when it came to our friendship having to end, it was just like, I was heartbroken, but at the same time, I couldn't lie to myself anymore. So it just ended up being like I'm gonna have to let you go. Like, and it took me a while because I justified for years. Justified the reason why she was acting the way she was acting, because it's not like you just oblivious to certain things happening. You see them, but you justify just to make it make sense to you. Like, why would you be doing this?
She could be doing this,
you know, for something else, you know, right? But once it ended up being like in my face, I was like, nah,
you gotta move accordingly now,
you know. So definitely I have those experiences, and it sucks.
How long did it take you to get over that you felt?
A couple years.
Yeah.
Like a few years, actually. Because it was a really deep relationship. Like, that was my
dog.
Bro. Like, and, you know, it doesn't feel good, but you have to love yourself just as much. So.
Do you think it's possible to save them? To save, like, situations like that? Being on the negative side where we lose them? Or do you think it's destined for them to
It depends if they also want that. It depends if they even see what they've done.
Right, yeah.
You know? And I feel like, say it were me and her. If it were today, there's so much that's happened. We would have to be friends again. Like, it would have to be like a revamp, like a redo. Like, I don't know you. Like, like, yeah, you know, like, because you've gone through a life that I don't know about, and I've gone through a life you don't know about. So
we're different.
Very different now. So certain things would just have to be like, I don't like this. You can stay over there. It seems like it would be like that, but you would never know, you know? Like, if it were to come to that, who knows, you know?
Yeah, I feel it too. It's hard for me. I would say that just last year, the ending of last year, I had to let go of a friend too. So, and I'm like, yo, like you said, ride or die. Birthday, we always exchanging something. Holidays, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it's deep. It's deep because, like, it makes you feel like, yo, because when I have these situations, I kind of go inward with me. Like, I'm like, yo, what did I do? Okay, what's wrong? Like, okay, is there something wrong what I'm doing wrong that I need to do better? But like you said, sometimes we also got to see what they're saying. Like, you know, what's on their side. Does this person want to come back? Does this person don't want to come back? Because you can even reach out to the people and like, yo, hey.
Exactly.
And that shit will be cold and dry.
It'd be, different. It's so different because they're aware of something, even if they don't want to acknowledge the full accountability side of it. Like, they are aware something has changed. So the way they act toward that, the way they respond to it is just like okay. Right. So
I feel like we should just be able to talk more. Like,
yeah, you would think. Are we not adulting here? Are we not all doing this for the first time? We should be able to not feel like somebody else is above us in a certain way where we aren't able to talk to them about something that we are ashamed of. Like, yeah, I fucked up, okay?
Well, let's talk about it. But you know what is it that makes people afraid to have that uncomfortable conversation? Is it because, I'm guessing through experiences like, you know, you had an uncomfortable conversation with somebody and it turned out crazy. It went haywire.
Possibly.
You're right. That's the only thought I have. But like,
I think if it comes to self, it's more shame because you don't want the person to see you differently than you feel like they see you right now. It's just like I'd rather keep this.
Right.
You probably see some, but I'm gonna.
I ain't gonna give you all of it.
Right. Like,
interesting.
But if you see that, it'd be better because then at least the person will have a lot more respect for you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, like with the conversation, through the conversation and saying, okay, I was wrong, here's my part.
You know? Because we mess up all the time. We're literally human. There's nothing, this is why we're present, not perfect, right? Okay.
Come on now. That's a good little slide in there. That was good.
Like, literally, like, we are human. We are going to make mistakes. This is how we learn. So we need to go through the lessons. How are you feeling about something that I've done? I'm going to have a conversation with you about that so that we can come to a conclusion, because now I can assess that, and then possibly somebody else is going to feel that if I do that to them. So let me not do that. And then also, if you judge somebody on the way that they're doing something, you're possibly doing the same thing. Subconsciously, you're just not really piecing it together, but you're most likely doing that same thing. or it's going to come into your life as a reality after judging that person.
Is it most of the time, like, when you judge somebody or when you feel like you don't like something about somebody, it may be something that is about you, like you were saying, that you're dealing with? Or also, like, I read in, like, this book called Emotional Intelligence, they're talking about, like, also your family members too. It could incorporate in your environment. Like, say your brother does this, like, he's he's this and he's act this way, so you don't like to see that out of anyone outside, because then it's going to remind you of home or remind you of back in the days, and that's triggering for certain people. So I see why people like kind of get mad at it, but right, like you said, take a step back,
see where you could be doing the same thing.
Am I doing that in a different way? You know what I'm saying? Like, the other day I would definitely say you brought to my attention without even knowing. Sometimes I could be lackadaisical in a certain sense, lazy in a certain sense, and I had a homie that was like stressing about certain things. I'm like, yo, tighten up, and I'm like, yo, you tighten up. You know what I'm saying? Because now as I look back, I'm like, hold up, I love that. I need to tighten up myself, because certain things are not aligning for what I want to do creatively as well too. So again, thank you, because I don't think you realize that, but maybe in your back of your mind, but like,
I just be like, let me help. That's the thing, though. I feel like I'm grateful of the people that do appreciate my help, my aid, because sometimes people, they don't want that. And it's like, I don't want to overstep. So when it is something that I'm just doing out of just me being me, and it's appreciated, it's like, okay, no, I needed that. So, thank you.
No, for real, man. And then again, it goes back to like our circle of friends. Like, I want that. I want that. So I'm going to shout it out when I see it, because I want you to do the same when I come to you about something, or if you learn something from me, like,
exactly.
It's just a flow.
It is definitely reciprocated.
Exactly. And again, the goal is to build a good sized community or a good sized team that's like that. And for me, I feel like it will win. In any way. Like,
it's already winning. What? Like, I've been tapping into a lot of different podcasts lately where it's like the team that they have, nothing is against them, because they know everybody for their strengths and what they bring to the table, and that is so powerful. Like, you cannot lose. You're gonna lose if you're doing shit by yourself and you're trying to do everything independently, because unfortunately then you're gonna feel like there's so much on your back, one, and you don't know who to trust. So trying to reach your goals, you're just like, wow, like, how am I supposed to make all of this happen? But if you have a team, bro, like, even if it's the smallest thing, you're like, yeah, we got this. Like, even if it's a Goliath of a thing,
we got this. To know that you have a team that says, yo, we got this, that boosts up your morale and confidence tenfold, like I would say.
And even if, say it's a whole thing where it's like, we don't know what we're providing for the situation for that person. A situation could come to me where it's like, okay, I need you to just remind me of what the fuck I know, okay? Because I'm gonna get down on myself where it's like, okay, I'm second guessing what I know because my intuition has led me to this point, but I also don't want to project. That's one thing I've been mindful of, is like, okay, am I pulling this from some pain, or is this actually happening? And you have been somebody to really make me check, like, okay, is this really happening? You know?
I see.
So as I've come into it, like, no, my intuition be on point. Like, so you've helped me really hone in to really trust myself. Like, no, what you're feeling, it is actually what it is.
That's exactly that.
Because then when you go back, I try to like connect the dots and, you know, pinpoint with these people. Folded. So it's like, yo, okay, so I'm glad you keep me grounded to reality, to know that I'm not always gonna be right, but to always remember that, yo, what I see, I ain't playing with it. Like, don't no. So then that allows me to trust myself, and then in turn for others to trust me. So it works. Like,
no, I love that because again, it's the whole goal is to pour into each other. And like, when your cup is empty, I'm supposed to be there to help you out. And I feel like that's what real relationships, real friendships are built off. Real, like, that's what we want. So why not practice it now? You know? And it may not be with a pack of people, but like I said, I'd rather roll with a few lines than a pack of hyenas.
Right, type shit.
Like, I am not trying to be, I'd rather roll with 5 of them, and I know that these 5 is going to hold it down. And even if the problem is like a Goliath situation, man, at least we did it together. And
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like it helps with that, because if you have a whole bunch of people, you don't really get to tap into the integrity of that person, that character of that person. Yeah. When it's a few people, you're going through multiple things together that really will test you.
Yes.
So it will make you see, who are you as a person, and do I really want to fuck with it? Like,
no, I like that. I like that.
That helps when you do have a goal set to actually have a team. Mm-hmm. Like, that's deep. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a little insider. I am a character of a person, and I like when I have friends and they're close to me, I always want to talk about, what ability would you have? What superpower would you have? And you know, you get the response, you get the, you know, what their insight is and why. Because I always ask them, because I want to know with your personality, not just, oh, I want to fly because I want to fly. Nah, why you want to fly? It's flying because you're always in the clouds, you're type of dreamy person, you don't like to be grounded too much, you know what I'm saying? Like certain things, because I feel like the person that selects their certain power, it says a lot about who the person is.
That's true.
Including when you ask them to go deeper, it really does. And then that makes you build a team, and that's how I see a team. I see the Avengers. Mimi's on my team. We're here. I know her strengths, I know some of her weaknesses, but like, that's the power of a team, and she knows my strengths and she knows some of my weaknesses as well too. What can stop us, honestly? Now we're at the point where we're telepathic now. We are telepathically like, I can look at her, she can look at me.
We say the same word at the same time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, it's one of those, and that's beautiful. Like, that breaks another level of connection and reaching that goal, that dream that you want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Wow. So to bring it back to like the individual, so now we've picked up one option, like to really make it and structure it really strong team. So now within self, because that's always going to matter whether you're in a team or not.
Facts.
How do we overcome blockages that try to bind us before we make our goal? Because literally us talking to ourselves, and sometimes it's not even just ourselves, it's past voices of people telling us we can't do something or something like that, that's in our head, like, oh, maybe it's not going to work or this and that. And, you know, how do we overcome those hurdles for just ourselves?
Good question.
I feel like if you can go through the things that you feel bad about, the things that give you a sense of imposter syndrome or feeling like you're not meant to be doing it, I think if you go deeper into that feeling and then possibly have somebody there helping you, like a therapist or, you know, a good friend, you know, really helping you talk through why you even came to this position within yourself, like debunk all of the myths within yourself.
Where did it come from? Where did it start? Like,
I think really understanding those and then sifting through all the bullshit, I think that would really help, like the individual. Because then after that, you'll be like a Kanye. And I even think Kanye got some insecurities, like, you know, because he has that complex. He hides a lot of it, because I feel like when you truly have an understanding of who you are within every inch of it, you're not going to be super cocky. You're not going to be super humble either. You're going to be here. You're going to be in the presence of it all. So if somebody's coming to you reckless, you're going to be able to stand up to them like the same. But if somebody's coming to you with the humility, you're still going to be able to say, you know, like, we can do this, you know?
You know, it reminds me of Myron Golden. Have you ever heard of that man?
I haven't.
You never heard of him? He's pretty interesting. I think he talks about more success, just like getting goal-minded and everything like that. But he also puts it with the Bible and everything. And
interesting.
Backs it with like why the Bible says this and that. But I like the way he is, because he's that balance of what you were saying. Like, you don't want to be too cocky and you don't want to be humble. I feel like you just, when you know yourself, it's more of like a surety. Like, you're sure. Like, when you ask me, hey, can you do this? No, I cannot do that.
Exactly.
That is,
and it's not anything against you. No, it's just, this is where I stand.
I just know that I just know what I know, and I know I can't do that, nor do I want to do that, because I can control. Like, I don't have to feel like, dang, is she gonna be sad that I didn't do that? Or dang, did I miss a friend from that? It's just that confidence in me and being
that shit is so powerful too.
Being by yourself and knowing that you could do it by yourself if you needed to. Like push comes to shove.
Honestly, what I think of is the voices from the people that you grew up with.
Okay.
You know, they come into play. So now for me, from my own experience, coming out of those voices and then like having to stand on my own truth and then trusting that the people within the situation, I'm going to trust you to be okay with talking to me if you have a problem. If I feel like right now I want to say no and I'm not doing it against you, if I back off and say no and then I turn around, and if you have a problem with it, I'm going to trust you to tell me you have a problem with it. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I lost a friend.
Right.
I used to be like that. That's why it's like, you know what, coming out of those voices like, oh, you should do this, you need to throw away all your power, you come second, you come last, you need all of those voices. I just had to like, no, I've been drained, I've been belittled, I've been patronized, it's too much.
Sorry to cut your wisdom, but do you think that it comes also from like culture, community, or like how they teach us how to be sometimes? Very much, because their past generation, their parents and shit, like they barely had time to hone anything to them. Right. So they learned a horrible way of existing, and then they taught us that way. Yeah, exactly.
So
and Caribbeans, I would say the ones that I know, there are some that are not like this, but the ones I know, if they are selfless, like they will go an inch and a mile. They'll stay with you in the hospital for 2 days
and then talk shit later.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
What was the purpose? You didn't even do it with a happy heart.
Yeah, it's crazy, but it's just the background of that lifestyle that we're all raised in, because we're both Caribbean. So it's just, we see both sides. We see like them actually doing good and really trying to help out and help their people, and then
like my mama,
right, and like my mom too. And then like there's people that like help you just to see what's going on with you and what's going on. How you get into the situation. You look like you're meant to be in this situation anyways. Like just so they can laugh and talk about you. We don't need that. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I think we've actually, come into it. So basically, having a community when you're by yourself to really help you come out of the bullshit within your mind that you talk down to yourself with, or to ground you if you're talking too highly of yourself, because sometimes you might not really be on your shit like that. Exactly. So be careful with that also. Be careful. And then when you're within a community, to have a good team, a good group of people that you really know in and out, like you know yourself at that point, And if you don't know yourself, then you won't know your team. So it needs to merge. It needs to be in balance. So really though, we are here. We are here. Present, not perfect.
We are
present, but we're not perfect. You heard it by any means.
Seriously. And I think as long as we continue to really understand more of who we are and keeping the goal in mind, whatever the dream is that you have, like, why did you come into that dream in the first place? It's not just coming from you, it's coming from a higher source. So you have to understand that you are purposeful. You are in the position that you're meant to be. Now you just have to put in the skills to get to that point. Right. So now let's do that. Let's work it. Don't tell yourself you can't. You can't now maybe, but you've done so many things that you haven't been able to do before. You couldn't before, and now you're doing them automatically. So stop cheating yourself out of a good time.
No, it's just definitely to remind yourself that, at the end of the day, we believe in a higher power. We believe that the goal...
And we are a part of the higher power.
Exactly.
So
the goal is to be at that point. My belief is more about, I believe in God and also believe in the universe, which I feel like the universe is a tool that God has given us to work in this realm that we're in right now. And when it comes to that, I feel like it's more about seeing everything, like going back to our previous conversation, how everything happens for a reason. And again, your trials and your tests are just to find out, do you really want this? Like, is this what you're really asking for? You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where you have to really remember those things, including when you're by yourself and say you don't have a team, say you don't have a community. You gotta look at it in that light, because honestly, belief leads you to everything else. I mean, think about religion now. Like, people believe in certain things and they see miracles. Like, you know what I'm saying? But into a different eye or a different perspective, it could be like, oh, that situation happened. That's how you got that. Nah, that's not how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Or
but it can be at the same.
Exactly.
Two things can be.
Two things can be real at the same time. So we just gotta remember belief is powerful and understand like, yo, that's where honestly inner work works, because you can't get a team or a tribe or a family unless you actually do that inner work with yourself, because you attract what you are.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and even if you feel alone, you're not alone, because you have all of these things that are working for you to make things happen for you. You are literally a part of the one. You are part of source being. So regardless of what it is that you're thinking within yourself, actually, it can't just be regardless. It has to be in spite of what it is that you're thinking of for yourself. You are more than that. So life is just trying to bring you into the bigger self of you. So you got to take that, and you are not alone. I know that we were saying, you know, if you're by yourself within this whole thing trying to make it to your goal, but you're literally not alone. There's people out here, and there are things outside of the people out here. And within your own self, like, you can literally voice memo shit, like journal, like really write your thoughts out. Stop being scared of who you are. I really think that's the problem. People are scared of themselves. Yeah. You're scared of what you really can accomplish. But you ain't gotta be.
Throw all that fear outside, man. Come on.
Man.
And again, present, not perfect. Like, I love that title. Like, it's just, we're not perfect either. And we're not in a space to say, hey, you need to do this and you need to do that. But like, going off of experiences and going off of like what we've gone through in our lives personally, like, we're just speaking on that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like,
the experience, you're gonna get something out of it,
right.
Even if it's you know,
learn from everybody.
You know,
you really do learn from everybody.
So, in side note, tangent, if you still ain't start your not potty.
That works. Hey, listen, you might be speaking the future. Stop playing, Kanye.
If you ain't start your podcast yet, and you've been feeling like you had something to say, please start it today.
Get on.
Okay? What? We already had this conversation, so I don't know why y'all sitting here not starting anything right now. Y'all have something to say? The same way I had an episode 1, you can have one too. Okay? We're at episode 30 right now.
Jesus.
Running it. And I had my first guest.
30.
Like, we're doing things, and you are meant to do things too.
Facts.
Don't sleep on yourself, bro. All right, so we're going to end it off. You want to do it with me?
What's up? What we doing?
So, you have been watching another episode of Present Not Perfect.
Yo.
Oh, man. I am your host, Mimi Jeanite.
And I'm your boy, Legacy of Dawkins.
Yeah. And we're going to see y'all on the flippy next week.
Yes. Peace and love, baby. Peace and love.
Bye, guys.